Hello and welcome back to Beam Gear. Now, as many of you noticed at the end of the last episode, we had a bit of an incident. It turns out that launching a heavy Gavril D-Series off a cliff and letting it get all mangled just to drive it back into the studio as is isn't approved by building safety. The good news is, we found where the garage main water pipe was. But soon, we will be moving our audience out of the sweaty garage, aka the Beam Gear studio. Now we're getting closer to the end of the series, but don't you worry, the Gits and I are planning the next series to be even better. Of course, we will continue to review cars, and we will get our guest star in every episode, but what if me and two other idiots decide to pick 3 budget-friendly cars and try to do a long-distance challenge in those? How does that sound? This means that pretty soon, Beam Gear will be opening auditions for new presenters. So if you are interested, check the description below, join our Discord server. We'll see you there. And of course, before we get started, since we're kind of talking about the Gits hopefully keeping his job, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you today's episode is going to be amazing. We're going to have 6 cars go around the track, 6 lap times, and we're introducing a whole new lap board. So you're going to want to sit tight for this. Now, over the last 2 decades, automotive engineering has seen many rivalries, but none have been quite as obsessed with a single number as the folks in Mulsanne, France. They don't just build cars, they build land-bound rocket ships designed to push air out of the way at speeds that break physics. So today, we brought together the 2 latest produced road-legal Bugattis. That is a combined total of 3,378 horsepower, and enough top speed to travel from London to Paris in under an hour, given you have unlimited source of fuel. We start with the Bugatti W16 Mistral. Now usually, if you remove the roof of a car, you destroy the aerodynamics and end up with the top speed capability of an umbrella in a hurricane. Bugatti's response? Build an open-top roadster that can hit 282 miles per hour. That officially makes this the fastest open-top road-legal car on the planet. Imagine doing 280 miles an hour with no roof. Your haircut wouldn't just be ruined. Your forehead would be in a different zip code. And then we have the newest chapter in the Bugatti story, the Tourbillon. And while its siblings were built around raw straight-line thrust, this was designed around absolute mechanical artistry. Down below, the chassis is constructed from an all-new carbon composite structure with 3D printed aluminum suspension arms built specifically to shed weight while housing an 800-volt hybrid system. Instead of relying on a massive, heavy rear wing for downforce, almost the entire underside of the car acts as a giant Venturi tunnel. It will hit 276 miles per hour, and unlike its predecessors, the instrument cluster looks like it belongs in a Swiss clockmaker's museum. 2 cars, 1 philosophy, and a total disregard for the speed of sound. But today, we aren't just going to look at them. I'm privileged enough to drive these around the Beam Gear test track and see if all that straight line speed can actually handle a couple corners. Right, first up, the newest member of the family, the Tourbillon. Ditching the quad turbo setup for an 8.3 liter naturally aspirated V16 developed by Cosworth, paired with 3 electric motors, this thing throws out a staggering 1,775 horsepower. Now, interestingly enough, we can make this Bugatti go full EV mode. Now, it's quite quiet and quite slow, which gives me the perfect moment to show off this amazing instrument cluster. It's a completely analog, watch-inspired gauge cluster designed to look and function like a mechanical timepiece. Absolutely beautiful. But now it's time to turn back on the V16. Good grief, the throttle response. Now into the corners, and this is where the magic happens. Bugatti built a brand new carbon composite chassis just for this car. And even with the massive battery pack, it actually weighs less than its predecessors. And for something completely mental, the Mistral. No roof. Because you're exposed to the elements, the sensation of speed is amplified by 10. Every time you lift off the throttle, the quad turbos blow off right behind your head like a jet engine venting pressure. Because they had to re-engineer the carbon monocoque to replace the missing roof structure, it feels unbelievably rigid. The center of gravity feels slightly different, but through high-speed sweepers, the rear wing generates huge downforce. It's loud, it's theatrical, and my face feels like it's peeling off. So what have we learned? The Mistral is glorious insanity, and the Tourbillon is proof that if you throw enough French engineering at physics, physics is the one who surrenders. Now, as much as I would love to give you official time lapse, my internal organs have been rearranged by the G-forces, and my neck has stopped working, which means we have to hand them over to our tame racing driver. Some say his left knee is calibrated exclusively to measure a pigeon's bed width, and that he once attempted to bribe a traffic light with a half-eaten ham sandwich. All we know is he's called the Gits. The Mistral is on the top and the Tourbillon is on the bottom. Let's see how well they do around our track, and they are off. The Mistral does have 1600 horsepower and the Tourbillon has 1800 thanks to the 3 extra electric motors. So all I can say is these are the highest horsepower cars we've ever had on the track so far. Just passed through Wilson, now headed to Chicago. Both cars having a lot of grip, keeping it very nice and tidy. And the acceleration out of Chicago is insane. Now they're both headed towards Hammerhead. Both looking very good with the braking, still keeping it kind of tight. The Mistral is going a little bit wider though. Just look at the speed. Heading into follow through now, both cars are looking very fast. As they pass through Bentley, the Mistral gets loose, but the Tourbillon keeps it planted. Now coming through the final corner, Gambon. And across the line. Now taking a look at our power lap board. First we're going to go ahead and put the Bugatti Mistral up on the board. That car did it in 1 minute. 14.26 seconds. So that is our number one time, beating the Ravix by a whole 4 seconds. But we also have to put the Bugatti Tourbillon on the board. The Tourbillon did it in 1 minute, 11.6 seconds, which beats the Mistral. So that is surely the fastest time on our board. I'd love to see another car that could beat it, but for now, Bugatti Tourbillon, that is the fastest car on our test track. Now in this all new segment we like to call Racing Through History. We're going back in time to look at historic racing cars and moments, from F1 to Le Mans to Group B Rallycross. We're going to do an in-depth review of our favorite moments straight out of the history book. So let's get started, shall we? Listen up, class. In the mid-1960s, motorsport wasn't just about trophies. It was always personal. Henry Ford II wanted to buy Ferrari. Enzo Ferrari walked away at the last second, and Henry declared absolute war. The result of that corporate vendetta was a car just 40 inches tall, the Ford GT40. While the massive 7-liter Mark II stole the spotlight in 1966, the legend of the car in front of us is even crazier. Just look at the paint job, the iconic powder blue and orange of Gulf Racing. So you know this isn't just any GT40. This specific chassis, GT40P/1075, did the nearly impossible, and I get to drive it. By 1968, new regulations banned the huge 7-liter engines. Everyone thought the GT40 was obsolete. But John Wyer's team took this chassis, stuffed a 302 cubic inch V8 into it, and went racing anyway. And And what happened? In 1968, Pedro Rodriguez and Lucien Bianchi drove Chassis 1075 to an overall win at Le Mans. Then, in 1969, Ford brought the exact same chassis back. Zachy Eakes literally walked across the track during the running start to protest against the danger of it, then put his seatbelt on, started dead last, and ended up winning the race just by 100 yards after 24 brutal hours. One single chassis, 2 Le Mans wins, back-to-back years. That kind of resilience and mechanical perfection is virtually unheard of. It's not just a race car, it's a legend, and that is why the GT40 earns its spot on Racing Through History. Now today we're all about racing and lap times because I've decided I want to start a new lap board. We're going to call it the Legendary Lap Board. This one is for all sorts of racing machines, and of course, with highly engineered vehicles like the GT40, we need a professional racing driver to pilot it. Some say he never pays road tolls by drinking fuel from a flower pot, and that his left hand is the same weight as a steering column clock spring from a Mazda RX-7. All we know is he's called the Gits. Arguably, this is one of the most beautiful cars we've seen on our track, but I know it's not going to be the slowest. Cruising through Crooner, and now coming through Wilson. Of course, keeping a great line through here. The Gits knows exactly what he's doing with this car. Now coming around Chicago, a little bit of lockup in the brakes, but he's still holding a perfect line through there. Again, locking up the brakes, coming into Hammerhead. Car is bouncing quite a bit. That suspension is stiff, but the line is still tight, and that thing is looking very quick. Now headed into Bentley, holding a decent amount of speed. I don't think he let off that much. And flying through Bentley. Wow, there's a lot of bouncing. Now coming down to the last 2 corners. It is still carrying so much speed. Cutting the corners a little bit, making it bounce over the place. And now across the line. Now, of course, the lap board is empty. Now let's see the lap time for this old lady. The GT40 did it in 1 minute, 19.63 seconds. So of course, it's first place. Now it's time to meet today's guest star and put them in our lovely Sunburst sports car. It's a man who told me before the show he really wants to beat the first place lap time around our track. I also happen to be related to him. Please welcome my cousin-in-law, Lucas. Welcome to the show. How are you feeling today?
Feeling delightful.
Delightful. Is that how you possibly describe your driving?
Possibly not.
Possibly not. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the interview. We're going to ask about your history. We're going to ask about your experience in the Sunburst. But first, what was your very first car that you have ever owned?
I owned a Chevy Sonic LTZ Turbo, and it was a little manual 6-speed. It was a 1.4 liter, probably a 1.2, I think. But it was cool. It got me to where I needed to go, and it was a little joyride. That was my first car.
It was a little nice car, a little bit of horsepower.
I wouldn't say a lot of horsepower, give or take like 124, 130.
Right.
Probably.
Okay, for a Chevrolet.
For a Chevy.
Hatchback, that's pretty good, because I know it doesn't weigh that much.
No, not at all.
But it was manual.
It was a manual. It was fun to drive. It was really fun.
Was that the first ever manual you have ever driven?
That was the first manual I have ever driven, and it's what got me into loving all sorts of other cars that are manual.
Okay, so for you European viewers, this American is cool. Hey, that was your first car, so...
It was my first one. It was fun. It was fun.
We'll give you a break, plus it was manual. That's pretty cool. For anyone else, viewers out there, I have never driven a manual car until I drove his Chevy. I've driven a motorcycle, has a clutch, has shifters, it's manual, but for a car, I think he can tell you, how was that experience? I was not doing so well.
Well, for him being a first timer, when he was driving it, he didn't do half bad. He did pretty good. Pretty
Except
good.
for the time where I told you to shift for me. I was so scared to shift.
Bro,
I could do the clutch, but man, as soon as I heard my first gear grind, it was over. I did not want to do it anymore.
He was like, no, get me out of here. Get me out of here now.
It's your car. I didn't want to ruin it.
It was all right. Listen, a little bit of gear grind here and there don't hurt nobody.
Let's go ahead and move on. I don't know if I know the answer to this question, but what was the worst car you've ever driven or owned? Basically, worst car you've ever driven.
I wouldn't say it was the worst car I've driven, but it was the worst car I've ever owned. I owned a navy blue matte color 2003 Toyota Camry. So now I drive a 2008 Honda Civic Si, also manual.
Okay, well, let's just get into the next question, why don't we?
All right, hit me.
What do you drive now?
Well, you heard it. It's a 2008 Honda Civic Si, manual 6-speed.
So what's been done to it?
The only mods I've done so far were radio, because I thought it was mandatory, at least the CarPlay. And I put some speakers all around. Next step is to put some subs in.
Now, we saw you some afternoon out in your Civic. What were you up to?
Oh, I actually have no idea. I'm out a lot.
How does your Sunburst that you drove compare to your Civic? They're both front-wheel drive, both Japanese.
They are.
What do you think of the Sunburst?
It's similar. It's similar in its ways. It's very similar. It's both front-wheel drive. I don't know. They're both of the back ends swing out whenever you want it to, if you brake on it hard enough.
Okay. So, as you were driving, you had the Gits in there to help you out.
A little bit.
Was he actually any help at all, or did he just feel like dead weight in the passenger seat?
So he actually was a lot of help, but me being me, first timer, I struggled a bit, but it definitely helped me out with a little bit of call outs, with a little bit of helping of the gas and throttle. So it was good. It was good.
That's fair. So now it's about time. We're going to go ahead and check out his lap. Let's roll the tape.
Oh gosh.
Now, as I said before, Lucas does want to be the #1 time. I heard he actually took as many tips as he could from the Gits, and he was seriously focused at learning this track. As we're going through Crooner now. Now pulling up to Wilson. He's not staying super wide, a little tight, but that's okay. He's carrying a decent amount of speed, a good enough amount of speed, hitting the grass a little bit. But now we're headed into Chicago, starting a little too tight, but still keeping it tight through the rest of the turn, so that's okay. Now heading into Hammerhead, looking good. Little bit of understeer, but that's all right. He is on the throttle now, headed into follow through. That's a big cut. That's gonna slow him down a bit. Still keeping his speed up, perfect through Bentley. Now we come down to the last 2 corners. Coming into it a little wide. Last up is Gambon. Coming in a bit slow, cut the corner, and across the line. All right, are you ready to see your time?
Hit me.
So you did it. 1 minute. 46.62. Unfortunately, Lucas,
Oh man,
you are in last, aka 4th place.
That's all right. It's okay. I take it. I'll accept my defeat. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for being here. We'll see you next time.
All right.
Now, time to address the pile of letters on my desk, because after our last outing, my inbox was flooded with people asking, when are you going to bring back the D-Series and the Centauri for more challenges? Specifically, my fellow Americans, they love a pickup. If a vehicle doesn't have a tailgate and enough bed space to haul a hot tub across 3 state lines, they simply don't recognize it as a real automobile. So because we cater to the people, we have brought 2 fan favorites back into the studio, starting with this. This is the wicked, decked out D-Series D15 V10 supercharged. Under the bonnet sits a colossal 8-liter V10, and to ensure absolutely nobody misses the point, Gavril has slapped a massive badge on the side that literally says supercharged in letters so big you can read them from space. Now, our previous D-Series was built and used for hard work, but this new iteration produces 740 brake horsepower. That is a lot of horsepower. Basically, this truck is designed for those Americans who drool over cars like the Dodge Viper, but still need space to haul their overweight cousins. And to cope with the extra horses under the hood, this is all-wheel drive, and the result? 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds. In a body-on-frame truck that weighs roughly the same as a whole town, it's absurd. But over here, we have something a bit more sophisticated. Also returning, by popular demand, the Procyon Century X520T. Underneath that sculpted hood is a 4.4-liter twin-turbo V8, pumping out a very healthy 541 brake horsepower. Now that is what we call a proper luxury land yacht. And if you remember last episode, I did point out some damage from light off-roading with the Perseverance model. And, right, did I mention the part where we're going to do power laps with these two behemoths? That's exactly why we picked the V10 D-Series and the non-Perseverance package on the Procyon to help shed some weight. While the D-Series relies on brute sledgehammer force, the Century takes a slightly more refined approach. Both are back, both are wildly overpowered, and right now we're going to hand them over to our tame racing driver for more times around the track. Some say, what does it even matter at this point? You've already seen him masterfully handle 3 highly engineered, high-revving, high-horsepower, brilliant cars. You know the name. He's called the Gits. Now we have the two beasts of this episode, the Century on top and the V10D series on the bottom. Both look magnificent. Both are probably going to tear up the tarmac. Already heading into Wilson, and the Century has so much body roll. It almost looks like that front left is going to come off the ground. But the D-Series looks like it's handling the track masterfully. The Century seriously looks like it's going to tip over. And the D-Series is getting a little sideways, coming out of that corner fast. Now into Hammerhead. Again, the body roll is insane, and the D-Series is sliding through. Perfect, beautiful, and amazing power slide by the D-Series. Now both trucks looking fast, coming through, follow through. Both of them keeping their speed up. Both of them looking really fast. Now the Gits, I don't know how well he is at handling trucks. He may be British, he may be American, but right now he looks American. Last corner is Gambon. Here they come across the line. All right, where do you guys think these times are going to be? The Century? Let's start with that one. The Procyon Century did it in 1 minute, 36.88 seconds. So that is the absolute slowest time on the power board. Let's go ahead and move on though. We have one more truck left. The V10 D series. It did it in 1 minute, 27.87, which makes it almost a second faster than the Bolide and about 5 seconds slower than the Ardent. That is wicked fast, and I hope to see that time stick around at the top for a little while, but I have a feeling it may not. And now it is time to end the show. Unfortunately, our budget has ran out and we are no longer able to put any more cars on the track this episode. Thank you so much for watching, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time. Good night.